Okay, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th round of Racecentre's V8 League for 2020. Tonight we're at a special track, which is Kyalami, based in Johannesburg, South Africa. We don't usually go to a foreign circuit, but under the COVID conditions, we're not doing double headers at each circuit. So I've kept it a mystery until about 6 o'clock tonight. So now they've literally just been out for a big practice session. You can see the track rubbering up quite well. We're currently in a qualifying session at the moment. We're about 3 minutes in with 6 to go. I'll just bring up the current standings. We've got Daniel Opedisano for the Opedisano racing team. He's in P1 at the moment on 72. Only 5 points behind is Halil Caesar for the Cooler Master Racing in the purple Mustang. He's in P2. Greg Gavalis in the Truck Assist. He's in P3 in the Championship on 48 points. P4, David Baker's been working hard, practicing quite well, and he's currently sitting in P4 in the Championship. Daniel Cicluna's missed the last couple of rounds, so he's dropping down the table at the moment, but you can see he was quite strong when he was here. Nathan Mannix in the Castrol Racing, P6 on 36. Bradley Martin for Aces Racing Team in P7 on 33 points. Anthony Visma in the Coca-Cola entry for Team Sydney. He's sitting in P8 on the Championship with 30 points. Thomas Foster's climbing after just joining us after the first couple of rounds, and he's already at 28 points. And we've got Paul Firth rounding out the top 10 on 21 points. So as I said, we are in a qualifier session at the moment. We're currently following Greg Gavalis in the Truck Assist entry. Fastest lap at the moment is James Delaney. Okay, so he's back in the seat after a couple of years out, and he's doing quite well. He's posted a 139.8, and very close behind him is Halil Caesar with a 139.87. It's only 4 100ths separating the two. And in P3, currently we've got Daniel Opedisano on a 140.1. The Kyalami circuit has been rebuilt and resurfaced a few times, and this is the latest version of the circuit. It's got 14 corners. Quite similar to the previous circuit, just missing little chicanes, opened up a little bit. The cheetah turn is about second last corner before the main straight. We can see we've got a couple of pit stop entries at the moment. There's no one really out there on a fastest lap, but there's a couple of guys on their PBs, and this is Troy Cieslawski and the Ned Mustang. You can see he's pushing it. Braking early, washing a bit wide there, trying to keep the momentum. Going through Cheetah and up into Ingwe, the last corner before the main straight. Quite a tight turn because it's a tight apex, which means the guys really need to be patient. As you can see, Troy's just getting on the gas a bit too early there, but he's done well to bring it back. James Delaney in the Red Bull Holden. He's definitely setting the pace for the other guys at the moment. Times are coming down over the night. We're starting around the 140, 144s, 143s, but now we're broken into the 139, so it's quite impressive. A lot more traction going on now that they've laid the rubber down. So we should see those times fall. So race 1 will be determined by this qualifier session, and then we're going to reverse the grid for race 2, and race 3 will be the accumulated points for the first 2 races. Daniel Padasano's chosen to drive the old Commodore boost entry. We have two versions of the boost entry, both the Commodore and the Mustang. Ross Licciardi will be driving in the Mustang, which is quite a beautiful looking car. He's currently sitting in P14 on quali at the moment on a 146.1. Got a minute to go, so the guys do have time to quickly get their outlap, as you can see by Ross trying to get on the gas early. Halil's just pipped, taking P1 at the moment. He's on a 139.6, so he's dropped a couple of hundredths off. But James Delaney's now posting even faster time as he's on his hot lap at the moment. Taking it nice and tight, burning up the rears to get on the gas early. It's all straight downhill, whether you back off to take that kink or not. If you don't, you generally wash out wide. And it doesn't get you in a good position for this turn here. This one's quite a wide entry. We'll probably see a lot of dive bombing or attempted overtakes, as this track is relatively tight. It's hard to make any passes. So most of the gains will be made on the start of the race or into the crocodiles, what they call. Okay, so he's regained P1 with 30 seconds to go. He'll be starting from the front row at least. We can see Opadasano on his PB, but just off the fastest lap at the moment. He comes around to take the flag. Oh, very good time. Squeezed himself up into P2 ahead of Halil. Great job in the Courtney Commodore. Mike McLean's new with us tonight, racing in the New Zealand entry in the Ford Mustang. The guys have got options going with softs or hards. During the two sprint races at the start, there's no real mandatory tyre which you have to choose, but in race 3 it is a mandatory pit stop. Sponsored by iRideNewZealand.com. He's still out on his last lap, so it looks like this will count once he takes the line. Oh, but he's overcooked it, trying to drift around the corner. He's blown that lap. So unfortunately, that's P4 for him. Still not a bad effort with a 140.823. Just going to go through the field now. We've got David Baker in the Shell Helix car. Scotty McLaughlin livery. He's excited to get a result tonight. So we'll see how he goes over the long run. So P5 for him. Unfortunately, he lost it in the second sector. And just off on the third sector for his final run at the qualifying. So at the conclusion of the qualifier session, we can see that James Delaney P1 with a 138.973. P2 Daniel Opadasano with that late charge on 137.107. Pipping Halil Caesar in the Cooler Mass entry on the 139.673. Mike McLean in fourth. David Baker P5. Trank Rebel in P6. Nathan Mannix P7. Bradley Martin P8. Greg Gavalas P9. Anthony Bismo P10. So we're going to have a quick break, go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back after these messages. With thanks to our sponsors, Julie and James at Burley Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars limited edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Jewellery on James.
Whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Okay, welcome back. We're just about to get into the race. It's 8 laps this one, so we've just gone off the quali session. James Delaney will be starting P1, then Daniel Albertasano, we can see Halil Caesar. So they're all gridding up. Formation lap. So the guys will roll around. Round 5 of 10 this year. Okay, so as they go, we'll bring up the grid. So again, starting on P1's James Delaney. Pete next to him is Daniel Albertasano. Halil Caesar in P3. Mike McLean rounding out the P4. P5 will be David Baker. That's a good effort from him. And Trent Grabel right beside him. That's a good effort from those two. Nathan Mannix P7 and Bradley Martin P8. Greg Gavalis in the truck assist. He'll be disappointed with that in P9. Anthony Visma in the Coca-Cola entry. Bryce Royal in P11. That's a good effort from him. Ara Kalajian in 13th. Next to him will be Ross Licciardi. Troy Cieslawski in 15. And David Borg in P16. So it's going to be a hot one. This is the first time we've actually raced together on this circuit, and turn 1's going to be very tight. The guys really need to make sure they warm up their tyres, because when it comes to use the brake pedal in turn 1, they're going to want to stop. It is a downhill. It's a wide entry but a tight exit, so it's going to bottleneck, and we could see some fair bit of carnage. So if you're out there listening, give us a shout out. Let us know who you're barracking for, cheering on. Okay, looks like Halil's overcooked the start there. I hope he's either that or he's setting up the okay, waiting for the green. It's a nervous wait. Engines revving. Kyalami in South Africa, here we go. Counting down. Looks like someone hasn't gridded up properly, so we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the grid to set. Not everyone's in position at the moment. Roslicciardi, looks like, here we go. And it's green, 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 off they go. James Delaney getting a flying start. We see David Royal overcook it into turn one. Heavy down the main straight, a lot of smoking there. It looks like they set on the line a bit too long. But David Baker's up into fourth. They all get through relatively safely. Oh, we can see Trent Grabel's being tailed from behind. And that puts him back down the pack. Oh, more carnage as David Baker's overshot it coming out of barbecue. Halil's got the jump on Opedisano as Delaney leads him through the first lap. Going nice and wide. Halil's going to try something here. But that's just going to allow Daniel Opedisano to get back in behind him. Nathan Maddox in a P4 at the moment. We are on the first lap. We're watching Nathan Maddox at the moment in P4. Battle up front's bit of a bump and run there, but he's on the wrong side to benefit. So he settles back into P2. Further down the back, we've got Mike McLean just behind Brad Martin in P5. And right behind him, Greg Gavalis and David Baker. David probably, he's going to go underneath, get that position, but will he hold it as Greg gets a better exit? Now, he's done a good job there, Baker, so he's moved up into P7. Ahead of Gavalis in P8. They're starting to settle down now, but Bradley Martin trying to stay ahead of Mike McLean. And Baker as he's climbing up the back of these two. James Delaney's setting the timing screen to light up the front there as he's starting to stretch away from Halil Caesar and Daniel Opedisano. We can see Anthony Visma's dropped out already. I'm not too sure what happened there. Looked like he struggled to get round the circuit and grid up. Nathan Mannix is by himself, but the battle's back for P5 at the moment. Nice little 4-car battle here. All deep under brakes Baker as he burns the fronts. Still gets a good exit as the other two haven't capitalised on the mistake there. Let's go through the sweeping. Oh, Bradley's locking up the rears and he's overshot the turn. All three of them are wide. Baker's just got clipped from behind by Martin. But he's trying to stretch it clear because he's done a fair bit of practice. Bradley Martin dropping another place there. Another best lap posted by James Delaney. Mike McLean getting us sideways on the exit of the 14th last corner there as we go into the third lap. Up the front, Delaney still stretching it out, but the guys aren't too far behind. They're doing a good job. Go back to the battle for P5. It looks like we're split that in half as Baker's starting to stretch now. Mike McLean closely followed behind. These guys are definitely using the rears. A lot of off-camber turns here at Kyalami, which is upsetting the car quite a bit. Getting the tail quite happy. The guys get on the gas a bit too early. Sometimes it is better to get around the corner like that. Otherwise you lose too much time just waiting for the corner to come to you. Down in 10th we've got Licciardi and Gavalis together. Gavalis up the inside for the tight hairpin, but Ross Licciardi does the switchback and Greg loses a bit more time. Looks like he's struggling a bit under race pace at the moment, so hopefully he settles down and gets back in his groove as Licciardi moves up into the top 10. 5 laps remaining in the 8-lap race. Bell's making his way back up the front as he's scorching the positions at the moment. He's moved back up into P6 after that earlier incident, getting tapped in the rear on the first corner. So he's probably you can see his windows are steaming up there. You can't see through them. Running a bit wide there. Beautiful livery though. Further up the front, Caesar's made a bit of ground on Delaney and Opedisano. Looks like they're settling in. Jones is probably falling back into the clutch of those two. This will make an interesting race towards the end. Oh, Delaney runs wide there. It's cost him a bit of time, but he still gets it to the last corner through Cheetah turn, and Igua turn 14 onto the main straight. He's trying to get on the gas early to get away from these two, but Opedisano's creeping up the back. We go on board with Opedisano now. He goes wide. He's going to get the inside line, but Halil's going to block that. Wow, you see them all getting sideways. It's off camber. The car wants to push, but you need to get back on the accelerator, bring the rear around and point yourself in the right direction for the next corner. Oh, it's a three-way battle. Halil's not going to gain any positions doing that. It's a great battle for the lead. We see Licciardi for some reasons in pit lane already. He's either really cooked the tyres, coming in for a set of rubber, or he's received a penalty somehow, which you have to serve within 3 laps of the incident. Okay, so there's not much between these three. As we're on the 6th lap. Opedisano losing a bit of time. Trying to do something different, get in the mirrors of Halil Caesar. Trying to distract him while he's got his eyes front. Trying to concentrate on Delaney. We see Opedisano behind. And Delaney up front. Trying to get the nose in, then get straight back on the gas into a heavy braking zone down to second gear. Should go on board now. This is for the lead, with Opedisano top three all within a second of each other. We can see Opedisano in the rear vision mirror and Delaney through the windscreen. Both taking similar lines, so it's not like we're going to see the guys trying any dive bombs or stupid moves. As Lil gets loose there. You can see it's nice and tight. The exit doesn't open until quite late, but the car rolls in quite nicely. Okay, so we'll go back through the field. Mannix is still in P4 by himself. He looks quite comfortable there. Baker's just behind him, and here comes Group Bell. He's chomping at the bit to gain P5 before the end of the race. He's only got 1 and a bit laps to do it. Mike McLean, he's got Brad Mutt right on his tail there. He's in P7 and P8. Thomas Foster, who I was expecting up the front. He's struggling a bit back in P9. He's got Greg Gavalis in P10 right behind him and the truck assist Mustang. David Borg started in P11. He's up into, starting in P16 up into P11 now. And we've got Ara Kalajian in the Penrite entry in P12. Bryce Roll just shot it there and doing doughies as he gives the space spot up to Troy Kozlowski going past in the Ned Mustang. Ross Licciardi rounding out the 15 and Bisma already DNF'd and back in the pits. Looks like we'll follow this to the end. They're on their last lap. Delaney's still ahead of Caesar. Opedisano. We see a three-way battle still, and Opedisano's now close on the back of Hillel Caesar. Looks like they've just passed Licciardi, which may have brought these guys together, taking back markers. This is the last lap, so it looks like Delaney's going to bring it home, providing he doesn't make any mistakes. There is about 4 or 5 turns to go. Coming up to the hairpin of Louis Kopp. Down the mine shaft. Nice sweeping left-handed bend here. Coming down to a second gear corner. Will Opedisano get it under brakes? No, he doesn't get the job done. Oh, Opedisano just managing to hold it. There's James Delaney taking it across the line. Halil and Daniel Opedisano, second and third. Great race between those two. Nathan Mannix coming out of the final corner to take fourth. Very comfortable fourth, but Trent Grabel has taken P5 from Baker. So look out for him on the reverse grid for race 2. David Baker P7. Mike McLean in his first race. Great job ahead of Brad Martin in P8. At home for Milwaukee in P9 and Gavalis crossing the line in P10. David Borg, P11, Czeslowski, Royal, Kalajian, Licciardi, and Visma. So there's your race results for race 1. We're going to reset for race 2. It's going to be 11-lap race, and it's going to be reverse grid. So I'll just go to some commercials, and we'll be back with you shortly. With thanks to our sponsors, Julie and James at Burley Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars limited edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Julie and James. You want to talk to me? Or you... What? Okay. Yep.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Okay, so we've set the grid for race 2, 11 laps. Guys just getting on the grid now. For race 2, it's going to be David Borgen P1, Troy Suslowski P2, Ross Licciardi in the Boost Mobile P3, and Aracalagian in P4. Third row will be Thomas Foster, Bryce Royal, Anthony Visma, Greg Gavalis in P8. Bradley Martin P9, Nathan Mannix P10, Trent Grabell P11, David Baker P12, Mike McLean P13, Hillel Caesar P14, Daniel Opadasano 15, and James Delaney in P16. Okay, we'll try and see what the track temp is at the moment. Looks like it's bumped up to 30 degrees, which is quite warm, but probably typical for South Africa at the moment. Guys are just circulating, waiting to re-grid. We're on board with Greg Gavalis and the truck assist. Okay, on board with Greg Gavalis. Quick look at the starting order again, as we might have missed that before. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Turn 1's going to be quite bottlenecked at the moment. So Greg Gavalis takes his position on the grid. David Bork up in a P1. Okay, that's the grid for race 2. Here we go, lights go green. And they're off. The guys at the back, you can see them spreading wide. They just got to hold their nerve, get through this first turn. Troy Cieslawski's already lost the lead. Rossi Licciardi is going to take the turn, but it's 4 wide into turn 1. This is not going to end well, and there you go. Pretty much a wreck fest into turn 1, but Arakalajan comes out in front, takes P1 and just come together with Daniel Opedasano. So we have Trent Gribel taking the lead from P6. He's up in a P1 at the moment. Go further back down. James Delaney already up into P4 ahead of Troy Cieslawski. Well, the big names have really dropped back. Daniel Opedasano dropped back into P12 at the moment. Okay, Troy Cieslawski trying to keep Mike McLean and Bradley Martin behind him. Further up front, David Baker's up into P8. Ross Licciardi doing a great job for Boost Mobile in the Mustang. It's a good little battle for P2. Greg Gavalis and James Delaney. James is up on the inside. He will get one position. You'll have to wait for the next lap to get the next one, I'd say. Ross has just got to hold his nerve, stay straight, do what he does best. As we see James Delaney. Okay, Trent Gribel's taking the lead out front. 3.7 seconds ahead of James Delaney, but James is already gapping Ross, so he'll be chasing down the leader and get that second win for the night. Gavalis. It's right beside Ross Licciardi. It'll be a battle into this second gear corner. We see Gavalis prevails. Nice job by Greg there in the truck assist. Hello Caesars trying to get back up through the field now after that earlier incident. Wreckfest in turn 1. You see Foster already DNF'd, probably got caught up with some damage on that first turn there. So it's Halil and Opedasano going together, cutting through the field, up the front. You can see them sweeping and then the nose just diving under the heavy brakes. There's so many different options to take there. I think we heard Ross Licciardi hit the wall, probably locked up under heavy braking. It's a great battle at the back there. Mannix going wide in the grass. Oh, this is turning into like a 6-car battle in a minute. As you see, Trent Grubel's just posted the fastest lap of the race, out in front by himself, doing us proud for Racecentre. Nice chrome livery there. James Delaney's slipping further back. He's over 4 seconds back now, so looks like Trent's stretching that lead. We'll go back to the battle. Greg Cavalis is starting to stretch the gap there. He's in P3, and we've got Licciardi, Brad Martin, Mike McLean, David Baker, Obadasano, and Halil Caesar coming up behind with Mannix as well in the Castrol Mustang. Licciardi trying to give Baker some room there. It's not the ideal entry to these dogleg. And up the hill they go into a blind braking zone, so they really need to guess where they need to brake. Baker up on the inside for the hairpin, and he gets the job done, moves up into P5. We've still got a bit of a train forming behind, so Caesar and Oppadasano just waiting to get back up to the front. They don't want to lose too much time as Trent Grubel's posted another fastest lap of the race, and he stretches his lead out to 4.38 seconds. We got Baker here in P5. Wants to get the job done, chase down Brad Martin, then move on to... Oh, we see someone going wide there. Who was that? That was Ross Licciardi. Or was it Oppadasano? It looked like Licciardi in the Mustang, as we've got Oppadasano and Caesar going into turn one. Hillel's going in quite tight there. And Oppadasano trying to get the switch back, get on the gas early, but Hillel's done enough to take that position. Getting a bit loose in the back. You see the rear just sliding out there. Guys really using up the rear tyres now that the tyre wear's been turned down. We see Baker on the back of Martin just in front. So this is going to heat up quite early. Looks like Visma got caught up again in the incident in turn one, so he's lapping 51 seconds behind the leader. As up the front, we've got Trent Grubel posting the fastest lap, 141.076. Stretching lead, oh no, that's come down now to 4 seconds. James Delaney in P2. Greg Cavalis just making a rare mistake there, probably cooking the tyres coming into the heavy braking zone. You can see everyone really smoking up the tyres as it's a downhill run into a wide entry. So that definitely allows for a lot of dive bombing or a lot of overtaking under braking. We'll see Oppadasano right on the back of Caesar now. As he goes in the inside, he's going to get the job done. Has to brake late. Oh, these guys are really doing a good job. Halil doing well to defend the position. Daniel's trying everything to get past him. It is quite a tight track, so it's really hard to get a launch and get a decent run because the straights aren't that long. Two different methods of entering that long turn. It's very long corner coming into a deep second gear turn. Using the curves to make the car turn. Get on the gas early, but you have to turn in early for this dog leg. It's a left-hander. Just wait for that throttle. We go into this blind braking zone. So you're braking before you even see the corner as we go into a horseshoe. Louis Cop down in the mine shaft. Nice big sweeper. And running it wide into a deep, heavy braking zone. Very deceiving, the actual braking markers here. You can't really tell where you need to brake. A lot of people are overshooting the braking zone there. So behind them we've got Mike McLean, Nathan Mannix in 6 and 7. Bradley Martin, David Baker trying to get the back of Martin, but he's losing touch a bit. Licciardi not too far behind. Troy Cieslawski in P11 still, doing a good job there. Eric Kalajian in the Penrite entry. He's in P12, coming in his 6th lap. Bryce Royal and David Borg and Anthony Visma. So Visma's catching these two. You can see them both trying to get on the gas, and Visma smoothly coming out of that circuit. So he'll be able to get the better top speed down the hill into turn 1. This is where he's making most of his gains. You can see him closing up the back of Borg now, waiting to get the job done. Next couple of corners we'll probably see it happening. As he takes inside, he's up in a P14. No, he's lost it on the drive out of that corner. So he's probably got to do it in the next corner here. Anthony Visma just running hot on the brakes there. They're both on the back of Bryce Royal. 5 laps remaining, the lead's dwindling, and there goes Visma, he's lost it. We'll go back up the front as we can see Delaney clearly gaining on the leader, so the tyres are definitely wearing. Cavalis has dropped back down to P5 as Opedisano and Caesar's taken P3 and 4 from him. So Greg will do well to stay on the back of these guys and take P5 for this race. It's only 4 laps remaining. And he's got Mannix a further 5 seconds behind him. Looks like Baker's got ahead of Martin. He's back up into P8. He has lost a couple of places. But his next target is Mike McLean, who's just started with us tonight. Looks like he's driven before and in some other leagues, so it's good to see him join Racecentre. Hope he enjoys it and comes back. Again, you guys can join us too if you want. Just click on follow us on Facebook and send us a message and we'll give you all the details. It's that easy. Up the front, Trent's got a lead at 2.3 seconds ahead of Delaney. Caesar and Opedisano further 15 seconds behind, so they're not really going to make an impact on this front two. It's whether Trent will keep the lead for the race. Looks like Visma's made another spot up into P13. After that earlier spin in the gravel trap. So he's done well to get back on and catch those two. His next target's Kalajian and Cieslawski. About 3 laps to go. He's got 10 seconds, 13 seconds to make up. Alright, so we can visually see the gap now. Delaney climbing all over the back of Grabel. Gap now minus 1.6 seconds. Definitely using the rears to get the car to turn, getting on the gas early. As long as the nose is in, you can definitely get on. But Trent looks like he's a bit smoother through there. So he takes double apex out of Louis Cop, down the mine shaft, down the long left sweeper. It's only about half a second a lap, so with only 2 laps to go, he may be able to do it. He needs a bit more, needs to push it a bit more, Delaney, if he's going to show his intentions for the race lead there ahead of Grabel. Looks like Opedasano's dropped off the back of Caesar a little bit there, as he's quite happy to take P4. As they've made a few seconds on Gavalis. And Mannix is closing up behind Gavalis, so he'll need to step it up a bit if he wants to keep P5. The gap not really changing, so it looks like it's gone quite steady. Trent's managed to stretch it out a little bit or keep it firm. But with the Red Bull in the rear vision mirror, it's always going to be a daunting sight to see. Coming up to the last corner now to take the second last lap. You can see Trent got a nice smooth run out of there, and James getting on the gas, lighten up the rears. But he's brought the gap down to 0.8, so this will definitely going to get close. For the lead. You can see James trying everything, running wide, trying to get the back of Trent, but Trent's doing a great job to keep the gap at 0.8 seconds ahead. They may be coming up to lap traffic here, so this may affect the last lap of the race, as they all just trying to manage their tyres now. Here comes Ross Licciardi, hopefully he doesn't. Looks like he's crashed in the side of Delaney there. That could be the race for Delaney. Backmarker trying to get back on the circuit right at the wrong time there. Oh, but he's managed to get back up nice and close. Oh, you can see the gap closing under brakes there. Getting in nice and early, getting a nice smooth run out. You see the gap's 0.4 seconds. Trent's run wide. James is up the inside. The next is the left, so Trent needs to defend on the inside. Otherwise, James is going to get right in there. The last lap for the leader between Trent Grabel, James Delaney. James needs to try something different because Trent's covering off all the bases. He's running wide. He's going to lose a bit of time. Won't give it really much momentum, but he's definitely closing a lot better on the brakes. With about 3 or 4 corners to go, it's still Trent Grabell out front. James Delaney close behind. 2 different lines through this last turn. Trent really struggling on. Oh, Delaney trying to get back on the gas. You can see Trent defending on the inside, but will he have enough drive? He's run wide. Oh, he's let it go. And Delaney takes the win for race 2. Trent Grabell, very unfortunate to let it go on the last lap under pressure. You can see his tyres were just not there for him. And he didn't have the right line as he went on the inside to try and defend. Hillel Caesar taking 3rd with Opedisano P4. Cavalis and Mannix together. Who's it going to be for the last corner? It's a drag race. Looks like Mannix has just got it by 1/100th of a second. Ahead of McLean taking out the line there, and Martin's got back in front of David Baker with better tyre management as he takes Baker for P8 I should say. Licciardi again in the 10, which is a good job. Troy Cieslawski. And Eric Kalajian, this is for position, but it looks like Troy, unless he's got out there nice and smooth, so he's going to take P11, probably his best win of the season for him. Kalajian, Visma taking the line, and Borg rounding out the 14. Okay, so we'll bring up the results. There you have it, James Delaney just getting ahead of Trent Grabell. Then it's Hillel Caesar. Daniel Opedisano in P4, Nathan Mannix P5. Greg Cavalis P6, Mike McLean 7, P8 Brad Martin, 9th David Baker, and top 10 was Ross Licciardi. With thanks to our sponsors, Julian James at Burley Heads, Racecentre is proud to announce that we'll be giving away this Supercars limited edition Pulsar watch to the winner of our 2020 V8 League season. The special watch features include chronograph function, stainless steel hard-coated case with black pattern leather strap and red stitching, date, calendar and 100 meters water resistant. Once again, we'd like to thank our friends at Julian James.
There's whiskey in town. One that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian whiskey.
Okay, welcome back. We're just going to grid up for the final race of the night, 22 laps. Okay, the guys have got 30 seconds to grid up. Last race in South Africa, Johannesburg. 22 laps, track temps 33 degrees at the moment. Sun's out. Okay, so we're on our formation lap. Okay, so from the two races, we've got James Delaney currently leading tonight. He'll start from P1, P2's Halil Caesar. Trent Rebel's managed to get up into P3, with Daniel Opedisano in P4. Nathan Mannix P5 with Mike McLean in P6. And on the fourth row, we've got Greg Gavalis and Bradley Martin starting side by side. David Baker in the Shell Helix from P9, Troy Cieslawski in P10, Ross Licciardi starting from the sixth row with Ara Kalajian in P13, Bryce Roll in 14, and rounding out 15 is Anthony Visma. I think we've got a DNF already from Thomas Foster, who's found it hard going tonight. But we should see him back for Townsville. Okay, the guys are just warming up halfway around the circuit. 22 laps, it's a definite pit stop. So definitely pits are going to play a big part of this race tonight. So I'm just letting the boys know that it is a mandatory pit. Okay, Mike McLean's going to start from P6. That's a good effort for his first run with Racecentre. We've got some experienced campaigners behind him, so he's done well to keep consistent over the two races as he starts from P6. Okay, this will be a good race now because the top five are quite close with each other. As long as we get through turn one nice and cleanly, we should have a good race on our hands. 22 laps. Okay, waiting for the lights. Here we go. I can hear them now. Race 3, 22 laps, and we're off. And James Delaney's got a fly start. Trent Rebel backed off a bit as he lets Mannix as they come three wide down the main straight. Bradley Martin gets caught up in an earlier incident. Looks like Baker's cooked it off the line. Mannix and McLean through turn one together side by side. Trent Rebel's going to capitalise here. If he doesn't look out, up the front. Oh, it's going to be 3 wide coming into the next turn. That's coming into Sunset. Looks like Hillel's got the jump there. Mannix is up in making a huge climb up the front here. He's up into P3 ahead of round leader at the moment, James Delaney. That's how he goes through the race. Tries to dive up the inside of Mannix. Got Boeing McLean behind, going through the sweeper of the mine shaft into Crocodile. I can see Mannix locking up there under brakes. So letting Delaney close up behind. Looks like Gavalis has run wide there at Crocodile. It's a good battle up the front. Hillel's getting left alone out front. Daniel's trying to chase him down. Delaney's getting up the inside of Mannix as he spins it a bit coming out at the last turn. And he moves up a spot. So it's Caesar, Opedisano, Delaney, Mannix, McLean, Grabel, Kalajan, they're your top 7 with Gavalis in P8. Licciardi and Baker. So coming to Sunset up towards Clubhouse Bend. See Grabel fallen back in a P6. Must have missed what happened there. Hello Caesar's posting the fastest lap of the race with a 1:47.2. Mannix trying to show McLean that he's going to shut the door if he's going to try and come up the inside. Say come up and start their 3rd lap of the race. Up the front it's Hillel, Opedisano, Delaney. Delaney sitting back a bit, 2 seconds the rear. As Grabel makes another spot up ahead of McLean, chasing down P4 of Nathan Mannix. Further down the field, Greg Gavalis, P7. Baker a couple of seconds behind Tim, P8. Licciardi starting to get some consistent laps in. Oh, Brad Martin again getting loose on the first turn. Maybe it was balked by David Bork in the cool drive entry coming out of turn 1 there. And he loses another couple of spots. So Martin's has to fight hard to get back up, get into the strong points, as we see Licciardi and Borg through Clubhouse, coming into Clubhouse. Back up the front, Opedisano's closing up on Hillel with Delaney still 2.5 seconds behind Mannix and Grubel. Lap 3 at 22 and the field's starting to spread out a bit now. The only close racing we've got is just caught the end of that, David Borg and Licciardi. That's the tricky Crocodile section. Heavy braking zone, gets a lot of people loose there. That just allows Kalajan and Brad Martin to catch up behind. Brad Martin's got new sponsorship on the bonnet there from Aces. So he comes around to try and take the position. Looks like a 4-car battle now. It's going to get quite interesting. Brad Martin really wants to get out of this pack and start putting some decent laps in by himself. Mannix and Groove Bell fighting for P4 with McLean close behind. Mannix doing a good job tonight. Groove Bell after the second race and first race shows that he can really cut through the field as he tries to take the inside on the double left-hander. Down to Mineshaft. Tries to go in the inside. Mannix is a bit too polite there. He needs to get on the gas early. Come across the nose of Groove Bell. That's it. Groove Bell knew he was going to come over. Oh, he's broke. Quite deceiving braking zone there. Almost got caught out. He's up the back. Will he take it under the... Oh, it's still side by side. But Groove Bell gets the job done. It moves him up into P4, Mannix in P5 and McLean ready to capitalise in P6. You can see McLean close behind through the wings of Nathan Mannix. We've got Groove Bell stretching the lead a bit there. So only half a second splitting the three of them. As you can see, the gap's not that great. Will we see McLean go underneath? No, Mannix has taken a nice slow, covering both lines there. He's got a turned early and got a good exit. We can see him gaining a fair bit of ground there. Oh, McLean's smashed it into the wall. Oh, he's got it up on two wheels. Here comes Gavalas. Hopefully he can spin. Yeah, good job. Unfortunately, he's lost a couple of spots there. As Gavalas and Baker both capitalised, taking an extra position each. But I'm sure we'll see McLean on the back of these two quite quickly. So back up the front, it's Caesar with a half a second lead over Opposano. These three aren't going to let each other go, that's for sure. See Opposano doing everything he can to stay in the draft of Halil. Trying to get him under brakes on the inside, but it's very hard unless you're right behind him. He's closing under brakes. He's got a good exit, so he did gain a fair bit of time there. We're on board with Opposano. Lap 6 to 22, coming on to lap 7. We'll probably see a pit stop around the lap 11 mark. It is compulsory, so depending on how the tyres went on the last race, they might just do 50-50. Whoever takes the undercut, though, might jump the lead, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out later on. in about a couple of laps time. Delaney might take the opportunity to lap a couple of laps early just to try and undercut these guys. But they're still cutting quite good laps on this set of tyres, so whether it would be worth it, we're not sure. Opedasano right up on the inside, reminding Hillel he's still there. You can see Caesar just really ragging this car around the circuit, getting the back end out, trying to get the rear to turn, using the rear tyres up. You can see the track rubbering up quite hard as Daniel gets on the gas early. Go on board now. Trying a different line, going out wide, coming in, getting on the gas early. You can see him gaining right on the back of Halil. Oh, he's cooked it, he's cooked it. Will we see Delaney come up behind? He's up next to him. And he's taken P2. Just a little mistake, but will he get it back into turn one? He's trying to dive deep under brakes. Will he pull it up in time? Yeah, he gets the job done, but he's going to find out how to get back on the power, but he's covered that off. So Opedasano back into P2 with Delaney close behind. I'd say the first one to blink for pits will give themselves an advantage. Looks like Bradley Martin's moved back up into the top 10, overtaking David Borg in the Cool Drive entry. They get back to Group L's out to 11 seconds now from the leader. So I'll watch those times and see if he gains and gets to the back of these. But 11 seconds is a lot of time to gain on this circuit. Bryce Royals ducked into the lane for tyres on lap 8. So we see Delaney just dropping back off there. Whether Opedasano's just happy to sit here and wait patiently. No, doesn't look like it with that effort, trying to get on the gas. Still a close battle. They are stretching the lead from Grabel and Mannix pair. We've got Gavalis and Baker again together now, so Baker's coming up the inside under brakes turn 1. Will he get it done? No. Greg shut the guard on that. Protected the line, so he should get the run up into the barbecue. But he's run wide, and Baker, if he gets a good run, will get better top speed around this as he ducks out. Tries to get him around the outside, which is going to be hard. I think he's trying to do the switch over. Oh, he's done a good job. We can see McLean and Royal coming up behind them. But Royal's not in there for position. McLean is. McLean's in P8 with Gavalis and Baker on screen in 6 and 7. Baker's up the inside. This would be the outside run into the horseshoe. Oh, Greg's run wide. Baker's done well not to clip the back of Gavalis. Looks like there was a bit of a scrape, but McLean's definitely capitalised on that mistake, and we can see Baker running wide too now. He's probably Probably seeing the tyres going off a little here. The positions are definitely switching around. Lap 10. I'd say in the next 2 laps we're going to see the front runners dive into the pits for their set of rubber. One of these three need to blink to do something to get out of this. Get a clean run on fresh rubber, and try and get the jump on the next person for the pit stop. Whether that'll see him to the end, we'll have to wait and see. Delaney getting on the back of Opposano now. Will we see a pit stop this lap? My guess is we will. No, they're all out for take the 11th lap. This will be interesting for the championship if we finish like this. I'm not too sure whether they're going to take the round or whether James is going to upset them both to take maximum points away from both of these guys out in front, Hillel Caesar and Daniel Opposano. Opposano up the inside. Hillel's lost a bit of ground there. Oh. Oh. He's showing the nose. Hillel's seeing him there and he's giving him plenty of race room. But he hasn't got position to take the next couple of turns. You can see the car leaning on the outside rear. What are they going to do under brakes? Delaney a lot stronger. Oh, penalty for Mike McLean. I'm guessing that's for a pit lane infringement. We'll go back to the front, hopefully. Oh, he's being tapped by Opposano, but Opposano's held it. We just saw James Delaney in the back there just outbrake himself. My guess is one of them. Oh, and there goes Hillel into the pits. Okay, so it's very important that they get to 40 kilometers an hour before pit lane, otherwise they're going to cop a penalty. So we see Opposano out front. Now it's his time to put the pedal down and make some time while Hillel's getting a fresh set, because I'm sure we'll see Daniel come in the next lap, and even Delaney should be coming in the next lap. But Group Bell's also in the lane as well for rubber. So we see Hillel Caesar there and Trent Grubel. Let's see if Caesar... Okay, so he's gone through the lane without penalties, so he's done a good job there. Now I just got to see if Opposano does the same. Trent Grubel's received a penalty for his pit lane infringement. Very tough stewards on this track at Kyalami in South Africa. Gavalis in for his tyres and McLean serving his penalty. Looks like just a drive through for Mike. As it was probably within 10 kilometres over the pit lane speed limit. So he's released the pit limiter later than usual, just to be safe. We'll see Opposano coming into the pits, I'm sure. from P2 as Delaney decides to stay out an extra lap. Doesn't want him to get caught up in this pit lane drama. He may try and go long, but we'll see where Caesar comes back and joins Opedisano. We can see him coming around the final turn. And here comes Opedisano coming out of the pits. So it looks like that undercut has worked for Caesar, so he's now in P2 with Delaney still yet to pit out in front. This could see Caesar with a good 1 second gap, but I think that's stretching out to at least 2 to 3 seconds by the time we get back in order. It's important for James to get a clean run on this lap, as I reckon he's going to come in for his set of tyres. Group Bell serving his 10-second penalty, and someone's just crashed into the pit wall there. Okay, back with Delaney. So they get to Caesar's 25 seconds, so I can't remember what... No, Delaney's going to stay out an extra lap trying to gain extra time, but at the moment it's 25.5 second gap. For this strategy to work, you want to see that as time stretch out, so that gives James more time through the pits to get his set of rubbers done. But Opedisano's lost 6 seconds in that pit stop just by pitting 1 lap later. Well, he's getting up on 2 wheels there. Halil's really putting the foot down. He's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 140 flat. And James Delaney's best time at the moment is a 140.4. So 0.4 of a second, and Daniel Opedisano 0.5. 40.5. So not much between second and third, but it's definitely Caesar doing well out front. We see Opedisano in the background there. That's a big gap to get with only 8 laps remaining. Okay, so Brad Martin's coming in the lane, but it looks too fast for the pit entry. Hopefully he doesn't receive a pit lane penalty. Baker coming around to take P6 back. And he's ready to chase down Cavalis in front of him. So we can see the gap there. Timing screen not really showing the gap at the moment, but it looks like he's about 5 seconds ahead of Baker. So Delaney's staying out. Definitely looks like he's going to, but the strategy's really not working for him because he's already lost 0.4 seconds on that lap alone. So he'll need to come in if he's going to hold P3, maybe even P4. But Nathan Mannix is 54 seconds behind, so that won't affect James Delaney, I don't think. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be... And we're just seeing Opedisano just crack the 140 by seeing the fastest lap with a 139.507. That's the fastest lap we've seen today. Even from qualifying, that's a great effort. So he's really on the charge trying to chase this down. The gap's about 4 seconds now, 4.7 seconds. Okay, Delaney's still out front. That gap's slowly falling away to Caesar, down to 20 seconds now. Just try and see. McLean and Group Bell are out on track together. So this is the closest battle we've got at the moment for P7. Group Bell suffering, well, they both received a pit lane penalty, so that's put them down the field quite a bit. McLean, oh, he's just cooked it again. Unfortunate into turn 1, either rear's locking up or he's got no traction control down there as the weight of the car really rolls around left, right If you're trying to get on the gas at the same time, it's going to lighten the load, but that's allowed Grabel to take P7 from McLean. We see Delaney's in the lane now for his set. Another penalty's been dished out with pit lane limits. Really not a good circuit for the pit lane. And James Delaney's received a pit lane penalty. So he's either come in too hot or he's released a pit limiter a bit too early on the exit. So that's going to cost him valuable time. This might bring Mannix back into the fold in P4. Obadesano bringing the gap down to 3.1 seconds. Still holding the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, so I've got Nathan Mannix, Troy Cieslawski trying to stay out of trouble there, but he's putting himself into trouble. So he's got Ross Licciardi right behind him, and this is for position. As he runs wide, I'm not too sure whether he's pitted for tyres yet. Ross trying to go on the inside, but Troy's covered that off. You can see Ross getting on the gas too early, not too early. Troy's really struggling there. So they come together, he's off in the centre. Oh, that's a big impact. Hopefully Troy's okay, but it looks like he's keen to keep going. See Caesar's regained the lead now. Obadesano 3.1 seconds behind. Delaney, whether he's served his penalty yet or not. This could cost him the round, this penalty, we're not too sure. We'll have to calculate the times at the end, the positions, and calculate. We'll find out next round how they fared for tonight's round. He's definitely posting the fastest times out there. So we can see showing the sector times. He's currently got the fastest sector of the race. I don't think he's served his penalty. The gap between Caesar and Obadesano has dropped to 2.8. So Obadesano really making ground there on the leader. Martin back in the pits. That's